Here at Millett Hall in a snowy Oxford as the Miami RedHawks look to stay unbeaten at 6-0, hosting the Indiana East Red Wolves, who come in at 5-3 and aiming to pull off a huge road upset. We are courtside here in Oxford for what should be a solid early season test for both teams. I'm Gavin, and thanks for spending your night with us as we get you set for tip-off here at Millett Hall. Miami has opened up this season with lights-out shooting, good ball movement, reliable scoring from multiple teams, and a defense that has stepped up when needed. The RedHawks haven't been perfect, but they've shown composure late in games and continue to build confidence with each outing. Now IU East, on the other hand, brings some energy and some toughness with an athletic five that they bring out to start. Well, they have their hands full tonight, though, with the RedHawks, as they are an NAIA program. And when I talked about a huge road upset, it might be bigger than the word huge. Could be massive. It could be, I don't know all the adjectives for big, but this one would be unbelievable and almost unheard of if the IU East Red Wolves, the NAIA team, could come in to Millett Hall and knock off the unbeaten RedHawks. Looking to go 7-0 right now, IU East. Maybe with some other things in mind, though. So we'll step into it right now and go over a little bit of a summary for this RedHawks team as we head into tonight's matchup. The RedHawks come in tonight 6-0, looking to stay hot as they have just shown signs on why they're preseason MAC favorites. They just continue to get better and better, it feels like. But IU East, they sit at 5-3 heading into tonight. 3-0, though, on the road. They haven't lost a road game yet. Looking to keep that trend going if you're a Red Wolves fan. They're looking to hand the RedHawks their first loss of the season. Now, this past week, the RedHawks spent their break in the Sunshine State, competing in the Riley Decker Showcase against UNC Greensboro. They faced some adversity, though, as they struggled from the three-point line in the first half and were down 42-34 at the break. A little bit of worries inside of that locker room. I was worried myself watching that one at home. And ultimately, the RedHawks came back in that second half, and they outscored their opponent by 20, and they ended up winning that one 82-71 in Florida, with Suter leading the way with 20. Just behind that was Omar Atlason, who's just been an absolute key asset off the bench. He had 18 once again off the bench, continuing to just bring big numbers and big minutes as well every single game. A huge addition out of the portal, played at Bradley last year. The sophomore Omar Atlason has been a huge, huge addition to this Miami RedHawks roster. Something that kind of flew over our heads this past summer, I feel like. Let's go over some team stats, though, as we continue to move forward for this RedHawks team. You know, points, RedHawks are averaging an unbelievable 93 points per game. About a week ago, they were averaging 97.8, so that number has dropped down just a tad bit, but still 93 points per game. You can't complain one bit. Putting up 126 points in their victory 3 weeks ago over Trinity, where they just showed an explosive offense. Did it again as well this past Sunday, 2 Sundays ago against Arkansas Pine Bluff, who came into Millett Hall, and they ended up just pouring points and shooting the lights out here in Millett Hall. Points allowed, though, the RedHawks have flashed their defensive ability a little bit. Overall, it's been kind of a struggle as the opponents are averaging 68 points per game. And it's not really guarding the ball. It's been the huge struggle. It's been second chance opportunities for the other team. They've just been getting a bunch of rebounds offensively. And it's been a real struggle for this defense to really come down with some boards. It was an issue last year. And the issue has kind of eased in to this season as well, as it feels like every game the rebounding for some reason gets a little bit worse. But you're going to have guys like Antoine Woolfolk step up, obviously. And another guy that you really sit here and think about is the freshman Tyler Robbins. I mean, this is a guy who gives about 11 minutes per game right now, give or take. But when he comes in, I'd like to see him get some more boards. We'll talk about him in a little bit more. But right now he's averaging 2.7 rebounds per game. And, I'd like to see that number get a little bit higher with the minutes that he's playing, if he can really produce some good rebounds. I mean, that's going to go a long way, as obviously Antoine Woolfolk's not going to be out there 24/7 for this team. And Ian Elmer, another guy, I mean, he plays a ton of minutes. Both those guys play a ton of minutes, but it'd be a huge addition if Tyler Robbins could really, step into a role where he's just a huge rebounder for this team, as he sits at nearly 7 feet tall. So field goal percentage, though, I mean, this is where this team is really just electric. This is one of the best shooting teams in the country, let alone just the mid-majors. This team shoots it so well at 52% from the field with an average of 62 shots put up a game. So it's not like they're not putting up the shots. They are shooting it time and time again, and they're drilling shots at 52%. It's unbelievable. The three-point line, where the RedHawks like to live and die by, have shown once again how much they like to shoot behind the arc, and they're doing it at an amazing rate right now. Averaging 42%. That number was at 48 at one point, which is just an unheard of number, something that you're just not going to keep. That's just ridiculous. And 42%, you can argue that that's probably not going to stay there either. But if it does, I mean, whew, oh boy. And what they're averaging 12 made a game too. That's another thing. These aren't inflated stats. These aren't something where it's like, oh, they're 42% from the three, but they only make 6 and shoot 13. No, they are shooting at an all-time clip, nearly 30 a game, and making 12 of those. So they live and die by the three-point line. We kind of saw that when they took on UNC Greensboro last week in Florida. And, they struggled in the first half, and they found themselves down throughout the entire first half because they weren't knocking down shots, especially behind the arc. They weren't really bringing much offensively, and obviously that translates to defense, of course, and that's why Greensboro had 42 points at the half, and they had an 8-point lead as well, So an all-around struggle in that first half, and it really started with, not being able to shoot behind the arc, in my opinion, because that's this team's identity. That's where they want to live by. So, it's super important for this team. And, we'll move on to another important stat as we're talking importance, rebounding. Averaging 37 rebounds per game, a spot where this team has improved on from last season just a tad bit. But this issue is still very large and something that must be improved as we move forward. You need guys to just start fighting for these rebounds a little bit more. It almost feels like they're giving up in the paint a little too often and trying to get back on defense or get back on offense. I don't know. It's just it feels like rebounding-wise has been a struggle once again, and it's kind of frustrating to watch, especially with that game a few weeks ago where we were in Millett Hall and Mercyhurst is just getting so many offensive boards. It was a real struggle, and that's why Mercyhurst found themselves in this game late, where the RedHawks were able to just fight them off by 3 points. But I mean, if this team's able to get some rebounds, they win that game by double digits, and it's not really a question. So I think that game was really where, for me personally, it's kind of sirens started going off when in the rebounding category for this team. But, as we head closer to MAC play, it's going to be super important. And at times, this team just can't come up with defensive boards and also are very rarely getting that second chance bucket on the offensive end. I mean, it goes miles when you're able to get a second chance basket offensively multiple times in a game. So we'll move on and go to assists. This team loves to spread the rock, and the numbers are showing that with them averaging 17 assists per game, a really good rate, and I think that contributes with the shooting. These guys aren't, they're not ball hungry. There's no guy sitting here who's just trying to get a shot up every possession, every time that they touch the ball. Now, this team wants to spread the wealth. They want everyone to get a piece of it, and they know that all 5 people on the court at all times can score from just about every area of the court, whether that's driving in the paint, that's Evan Epsaro, or, Evan Epsaro dishing it to a guy like Luke Skaljak in the corner for a 3. This team spreads the wealth, and they know that each guy can knock down a shot just about anywhere, So, you talk about assists, and then you move on, and we'll talk turnovers. Turning the ball over 12 times a game, a number you'd like to see go down to get deeper into the season, once again closer in the MAC play. But the assist-to-turnover ratio is at 1.4 right now. And speaking of turnovers, this team is scoring an average of 24.1 points per game off of turnovers, so they're taking advantage of this makes. I talked about that in the Mercyhurst pregame show a couple weeks ago, and that continues to be a same trend. This team is, getting so many points off of the turnover as well. So, turnovers you'd like to see go down a little bit, but this team's really taking advantage of the other team's turnovers as well as forcing turnovers as well. So credit to the defense on that end of things. Like I said, defense can improve, but they are forcing turnovers, and you'd really like to see that thing moving forward. So, steals and blocks are getting just under 8 steals per game, which is a really good rate, and averaging 5.3 blocks per game, which honestly isn't a horrible number for the size that this team usually gives up. Not a huge team, obviously. The biggest guy in the starting five, Antoine Wufolk, who's 6'9". He's a big frame, a big physical guy, but doesn't really show the length like you'd kind of like to see in some of these other MAC teams like Akron, who has a ton of size. But these stats are all great, I always like to look at the numbers, but we can't fall in love with any of these numbers yet, as they've only played 6 games. It's a small sample size, really, and some may say they haven't really had much of a test besides maybe 2 games being, last week at UNC Greensboro and then the Mercyhurst game as well. But, I think both of those games they just struggled in. I kind of think they let the team hang around more than anything. So this team's really talented, and they've got a lot to improve on still, which is, the exciting part, because they're 6-0 and we're talking about improvements. That's just an awesome feeling, especially with, where this program was just a few years back. We're not talking about any success. So, let's go into the player averages real quick for this Miami team. Obviously, Brant Byers has been a huge guy for this team. Last year, MAC Freshman of the Year, and he's really taken a sophomore leap also. He's averaging 13.5 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 46% from the field, 88% from the free throw line, 35% from the three-point line on 25 minutes of play. Has just stepped into the starting lineup role and obviously fit in immediately for this team. And then you've got a guy like Evan Epsaro with 13 points per game, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1.3 turnovers per game, and 59.1% from the field and 40% from the three-point line on 26 minutes. So the guy at the point guard position, Evan Epsaro, has been outstanding. We saw so many improvements last year in his sophomore season, but the kid from Covington Catholic has been flawless this year and really stepped into this starting point guard role for Travis Steele's offense. Now, Peter Suter, the captain, the clear senior leader of this team, he decided to come back after last year. Said he wanted to win a MAC championship, and he felt a little bitter in his mouth after losing that last year MAC championship to Akron. It just felt like it slipped through the cracks, he said, after last season. So it was a clear, I'm coming back, about 3 days after the season had ended. And Peter Suter's been, maybe not as big as a contributor as you maybe think, because maybe some people are thinking this guy's going to average 18 to 20 points per game and do all this outstanding stuff, but I think he brings so much to the floor that you don't even see in the stat sheet. He's averaging 14 points per game. 3 games ago, he was averaging 11. He missed that Mercyhurst game, and after that, he's really started to score the ball at ease, it feels like, and really stepped into that pure scorer role. I mean, last year, I saw this guy score 42 on Air Force. You know what he can do with the ball in his hands. He's averaging 14 points per game, like I said, 3.2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.3 steals, 1.7 turnovers, 53% from the field, 66.7% from the three-point line, an unreal number, and 26 minutes played. We'll step into the big man, Antoine Wufolk. He's averaging 10.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1.5 blocks, 2.5 turnovers, 58% from the field, and 23.7 minutes. He's been awesome, Antoine Wufolk. I really like how he's stepped in and stepped up with the scoring abilities. Last year was under 10 points. This year, clearing that at 10.5 right now. But rebound-wise, the number is about the same, and kind of hoping for that number to rise at some point throughout this season. And I do think it will. It's just a matter of time, especially as you head into the latter half of this season. And, the more important games they're coming up, and Akron, January 3rd, it's a month away. You'd like to see these rebound numbers go up, and it all starts with Antoine Wufolk and Ian Elmer. Elmer averaging 7.3 points per game, 7 rebounds, 0.7 blocks, a turnover, 40% from the field, 36% from the three-point line in 23 minutes played. You look at the number, you're like, oh, 40% from the field. Yeah, it's not great, but it's drastically worse than everybody else within this starting five. But that's no saying that Ian Elmer isn't a good scorer, because he is. It's just how good these numbers are, especially within the starting five. This team is so efficient. Starting five so efficient, and that's why Travis Steele just trusts this team so much. You know, we'll head into the bench, though, and talk about bench. It's hard not to talk about Luke Skowjak, who's just been a huge contributor all season for this team, coming off the bench and really being a sixth starter for this team. Him and Almar Allison are kind of, you know, Travis Steele said it in a press conference after Mercy Hurst. You know, we have 7 starters on this team, and, you know, that's exactly true. And Luke Skowjak and Almar Allison. Skowjak averaging 8.7 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.7 steals, 0.7 blocks, 1.3 turnovers, 45% from the field, 55% from the three-point line on 24 minutes played. He's playing starter minutes. You know, last year talked about how efficient he was during his freshman campaign, and it's continued to be the same way with added minutes this year. So it's super impressive what Luke Skowjak has added to his game and continue to add for this team. And Almar Allison, who's just been a massive addition. Talked about that earlier. The guy from Bradley has been a huge, huge, huge addition coming from the transfer portal. He's averaging 12.2 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 2.1 assists, a block, 1 turnover, 57% from the field, 66% from the three-point line on 18 minutes. Almar Allison has just been flat out outstanding and such an amazing addition. Let's talk about some more bench guys as we wrap up the player averages for this Miami RedHawk team. You know, it's hard not to talk about the freshman Trey Perry, who's averaging 5.3 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 50% from the field, 50% from the three-point line on 13 minutes. This guy is averaging the most minutes out of all these freshmen. The guy out of Liberty Township in Cincinnati, Ohio, was one of the best players in high school basketball in the state of Ohio, probably the best player in the city of Cincinnati this past year. Watched him play in person, and just an outstanding player who can just score at all 3 levels and all 3 phases and guard just so well. Guards the ball outstanding and just a real knack for the ball. Trey Perry's just outstanding, and he showed flashes for this team, but the one thing that he shows every time that he's on the court is energy. And that's so important when you bring off a guy off the bench. You know, you need some energy, and Trey Perry is the perfect guy for that, and Travis Steele has obviously used that to his advantage. You know, when there's ever a time that this team is kind of just in the dumps or maybe struggling for a little bit, Trey Perry comes in and he brings a ton of energy off of the bench. And then Tyler Robbins, the big man, averaging 6.2 points per game, 2.7 rebounds, 1 block, 58% from the field on 9 minutes. And, you know, I talked about Tyler Robinson earlier in the show. You know, only 2.7 rebounds, just shy of 3. I'd like to see that number increase, though. You know, when he's out there on the court, he's obviously scoring the ball pretty well, you know, with the 6.2 points per game average, but I'd also like to see this rebounds really, you know, increase as we get deeper into this season, because if you can get a guy off the bench like Tyler Robbins and he brings a big rebounding presence like he should, you know, that would go miles for this Travis Steele-led team. So, you know, we talked about the Red Hawk stats. We'll talk about this Red Wolves team stats real quick. We're just about 8.5 minutes away from tip-off here at snowy Millett Hall. It's a cold one outside, but we're happy to be inside. Points per game, though, for the IU East is 85 points per game. Now, also, I want to mention before I say anything else about these stats, this is an NAIA team. They're playing other NAIA level schools, so you can look at these numbers and compare them to the Red Hawk team, and it might be a little bit better in some categories, but the level of play is obviously much worse. So points per game, though, IU East averages an 85 points per game with a scoring margin of plus 9.4. On field goals percentage, I mean, IU East with a 47.6%. 3-point percentage, 36.6%. This is another team who shoots the ball well, just like this Miami team. Obviously, about 6% lower than this Miami team, but they like to shoot the ball. They're a very athletic team as well, but they can also spread it around and shoot the ball behind the arc at a very high clip. They don't make a ton of three-pointers, though. Just half nearly of what this RedHawk team is. RedHawks at around almost 13 three-pointers made per game. IU East at 7. Rebounding, IU East is above the RedHawks in this category at just under 39 rebounds per game. And then assists per game, IU East 16.6. That is under the RedHawks, who average about 23. Turnovers per game, IU East at 13.9. It's been a little bit of a struggle for them, just kind of like the RedHawks, turning the ball over. And if they're going to turn the ball over tonight, this could be ugly quick, because I talked about this RedHawk team, gets points off turnovers so well, averaging about 24 points off of turnovers, an all-time clip. And if they're going to turn the ball over tonight, IU East, then the RedHawks are going to take advantage of that with no doubt. We'll move on now, as we're running low on time. I'm not good with my time management skills, apparently. Want to talk about a couple key matchups that could swing tonight's game. Just talked about the one with the turnover battle, but I'll talk about the three-point line. Miami's shooting an amazing 42% from three, while the IU East team shoots it at a clip of 36%. If Miami gets clean looks, this game is going to tilt fast, but if IU East wants to pull off the upset, they'll need to shoot beyond the arc at a all-time high rate. I'm talking above 50, nearly 60%, if they want to really stick around and maybe pull off this huge upset. And lastly, the speed of the game. Miami plays incredibly fast. We saw Arkansas Pine Bluff come in at Millett Hall on that Sunday and bring a super fast tempo and try to play fast with the RedHawks, and the RedHawks thrived on that. Travis Steele talked about that in the post-game show. That they love it. That's what they want to do. They want to play fast, and that's their pace. So if Miami can play at their pace, which is fast, I think this is going to be an easy one. It's a big opportunity, though, for these bench guys. Expect to see a lot of these bench guys get huge opportunities and big minutes. Guys like, Kyle Waltz, who can, take on a bigger role tonight, and Trey Perry and Tyler Robbins and all these other outstanding freshmen and bench role players. Some big games in college basketball tonight as we close out this pregame show. UNC at Kentucky, a real big one tonight. And it's the SEC versus ACC matchup. Two ranked teams inside of the top 20, a blue blood battle. And then Tennessee at Syracuse, Michigan State at Iowa, Florida at Duke, UConn at Kansas, USC at Oregon. Those are the 6 heavyweight ranked battles of the night. Some huge ones going around America. But we've got a big one here inside Millett Hall, where the RedHawks look to stay undefeated at 7-0. As we talked about earlier, the RedHawks are large favorites in this game, but they, of course, can't pencil in a victory quite yet, so you got to let this one play out. College basketball craziness happens every week. March isn't the only time madness happens. They've shot the ball so well to start out the season, and that's created the ball movement they have displayed. They must continue to spread the wealth and get off good shots, play fast, and I can confidently say that if they can do that, we will be talking about the RedHawks and how they are 7-0 and one of the hottest teams in America. Miami looking to stay undefeated. Thank you so much for tuning into the RedHawk pregame show. I'll be back with you at halftime to break down the first half and go over some scores around the country. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it is tip-off here in Millett Hall, and Andrew Relvas and Bryan Miller will be on the call just about 3 minutes from tip-off here in Millett Hall. Thanks for listening to the Miami pregame show on RedHawk Radio Network.
Good evening and welcome inside Millett Hall for Tuesday night hoops. It's the Miami RedHawks against the IU East Red Wolves in their first ever matchup. My name is Andrew Relvas, joined alongside Bryan Miller. And Bryan, the RedHawks are entering tonight 6-0, but in their last game they struggled a little bit in a neutral site game against UNC Greensboro. And tonight they'll try and be all business against the Red Wolves here tonight.
Yeah, it was a tale of two halves for the Miami RedHawks last week on Thanksgiving Eve against UNC Greensboro down in Jacksonville. Came back down 41-30 with around 56 seconds to go before halftime. So you really have to love the resilience and the fight from Miami in that game against the Spartans. And as I mentioned earlier, really a tale of two halves for Miami. Shot just 36% from the field and 20% from three in the first half, but the second half was a completely different story. 61% from the field and 50% from three. We'd just like to see more consistency from Miami today. We'd love to see a similar performance that they had against Trinity Christian, another NAIA team.
In that Trinity Christian game, the RedHawks won by 80, and we'll see if they can do so again tonight. We'll be back in a moment as the RedHawks are going to tip off action against the IU East Red Wolves in just a moment. Stay with us on Red Hawk Radio. Starters we're going to announce for both sides. First for the IU East Red Wolves, they've got 4 freshmen making the start tonight, led by head coach Mark Hester in his 19th year. It is Mikey Johnson, Cole Henry, Caleb Marrer, the junior, Jeremiah Landers, and Deshaun Shows trying to put on a show tonight on the road. And meanwhile for Miami, it's the typical starting 5. Peter Suter, Brant Byers, Evan Upsaro, Antoine Woolfolk, and Ian Elmer making the start tonight. Now, last game for IU East, they won 94-70, and it was a similar game. So the RedHawks really won 82-71. It was a big second half where they outscored Warner 55-25. So these two teams understand pressure. They know how to adjust, and the IU East Red Wolves are looking for a big upset on the road and an exhibition game for them tonight.
Yeah, both these teams could really fill it up as well, Andrew. Obviously, Miami well known for their offense, as we have all seen this season and last season, averaging 93.5 points per game. They've really excelled at getting the ball inside of the basket. But this IU East team is really good offensively as well, coming into tonight's game, averaging 85 points. But defensively, they've been a little bit lackluster, giving up just under 85 points. So a lot of competitive, high-scoring games for the Red Wolves this season. Miami should certainly thrive in this type of environment tonight.
And in the last game as well, IU East had 48 rebounds. Looked it up to see if it was a program record. The program record for rebounds in a single game is actually 68 rebounds.
Wow.
But they got 48 rebounds last game, and in that Mercyhurst game, it kind of felt like the rebounding was an issue, but we'll see if the RedHawks can make an adjustment tonight and get on the boards quickly against the Red Wolves. RedHawks are looking for 7 straight wins And this is a floor where the RedHawks have absolutely excelled. They've won 19 straight home games and looking to make it 20 with a win tonight.
Yeah, program record is 23, so just inching closer and closer to making more history in what has been a very historic couple of seasons for this Red Hawk program. They really excel in front of the fans here at Millett, and you could certainly understand why.
So looking at the schedule, if they want to surpass that record, they need to beat Akron, which is going to be probably the toughest game of the year in the regular season. But long ways to go till then, but searching for 20 straight wins here at Millett Hall. We'll see if they can do it here at home. For this IU East Red Wolves team, last year they went 16-13, 10-6 in conference play in the River State Conference, where they made the conference tournament, but falling to Brescia in round one, 99-90. So these two teams have played in postseason recently, and the RedHawks are going to carry that momentum from last year into tonight's game. The IU East Red Wolves are wearing their gray jerseys with the Red Wolves logo across the chest with the white numbers and the gray and red shorts. Meanwhile, Miami, the home whites with the Miami script across the chest, the red numbering, black outline, and the white and red shorts. It's Antoine Woolfolk and Deshaun Sows at the center court line, awaiting the official confirmation and official tip coming up. Deshaun Sows standing at 6'10", 200, a freshman. Antoine Woolfolk 6'9", 245. So 45-pound difference between the two players. Ball is stepped up. Woolfolk wins it, and Miami will move from left to right. First ever matchup between Miami and IU East on tap tonight. It's Peter Suter, bounce pass down low inside, Byers off the glass and in, and Miami opens up, leading by 2.
Yeah, it seems like a very easy matchup. Byers on the much shorter Caleb Moore, just standing at 6 feet even. That's something Miami will look to exploit tonight.
Caleb Moore, the only upperclassman starting right now, goes back up top to Shaw, and they kick it over to Mikey Johnson. Johnson, leading scorer, straightaway three-pointer. He drills it over the top of Ipsaro, and it's 3-2 IU East.
Johnson's certainly someone that will need to heat up for the Red Wolves if they want to have a chance against the RedHawks tonight. Had 18 points his last time out.
Suter driving inside, faked him in. Behind the back pass, Woolfolk had it. Kicked in the corner, but no one was there. Turnover Miami.
Man, it looked like that could have been easy layup for Antoine Woolfolk, but decided to pass it outside. He thought he saw someone in the corner, but there was no one there.
3-2 IU East lead, a minute into play here. Deshaun Sows, and now this will be out of bounds off of the Red Wolves. Last touch by Jeremiah Landers.
That was just a great play by Ian Elmer, breaking into the dribble handoff there from IU East and disrupting their offense.
94 points last game for IU East, trying to keep up this red-hot, scorching offense. Elmer looking inside for Woolfolk, tipped out of bounds by Sows.
Shows very aggressive, not trying to allow the ball to get into the hands of Woolfolk. Very aggressive start for IU East defensively.
Elmer on the far sideline, passes up top to Ipsaro, back to Elmer on the left side. Byers near midcourt, goes over to Woolfolk, kicks over to Elmer. Inside, it feeds inside, and this one's swatted out of bounds by Cole Henry. Woolfolk was going up for the dunk, put it down. It's going to be Red Hawk ball.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Some late hops from the 6'8" freshman Cole Henry, just swatted right out of the hands of Woolfolk.
3-2 Red Wolves lead. It's Ipsaro on the near baseline, hands over Elmer. On the right wing, feeds inside, Antoine Woolfolk in the paint, spinning around, shot clock ran out, and the Red Wolves force a shot clock turnover.
That's a few very solid possessions for IU East defensively. Not sure if Woolfolk realized the amount of time on the shot clock or not. Looked like the up and under was going to work, but he just ran out of time.
So it'll be Cole Henry Inbounding both Henry and Johnson, who are right next to each other essentially, averaging both 14 a game. Dual-sided team. Johnson swarmed before he passed on the right side to Mara, and back to Johnson on the edge of the red M. Feeding inside, Cole Henry on the far side, 2-on-1, missed the layup. Woolfolk grabs the rebound, and Miami gets a stop. It's Peter Suter working on the right side, hands up top to Evan Upsarl. Driving downhill past two Red Wolves, circles around, feeds to Woolfolk. He had it, and he took Deshaun Shows over the top. That'll be a foul on IU East. Stops it at 17:54.
Yeah, Woolfolk certainly getting a lot of touches inside the paint to start off tonight's game. Certainly a good start for Miami in that aspect. And if you're able to get the 6'10 Shows jumping off of his feet, you got to take advantage of that and at least get to the free throw line.
Here's Woolfolk, and he makes the first one. Got a couple of rolls, averaging 10, 7, and 2 last game, 6, 2, and 1 block.
Now above the 50% mark at the free throw line as well. Know it's something that he's really been trying to work on.
Second free throw is pure, and Miami retakes the lead. It's 4-3 RedHawks, 17:50 left to go in the first. Mikey Johnson on the right wing goes over to Kobe Watson. Goes back to Johnson, then back up top to Jeremiah Landers. Far elbow jumper, Watson, he drills it, and IU East retakes the lead 5-4 here in the first.
Yeah, Watson just in stride, able to get the mid-range jumper.
Woolfolk around the back, driving down low, goes over to Upsarl, faking the three-pointer, rises up, righty layup, no, rebound snared by Watson, and here comes the racing Red Wolves. Landers over to Johnson. Back over Maurer. Watson in the corner. Then back over to Mikey Johnson. Johnson down the lane. Righty floater short. And Woolfolk grabs another board. Elmer sprinting down the near sideline. And the RedHawks reset. Suter. Left wing, driving downhill, one-on-one, righty layup, missed it, second chance point, off the glass and in, and Miami retakes the lead, 6-5 here in the first.
Love the toughness there from Suter, so good at driving in with the ball in his hands, and even though he's not able to get it at first, able to get a second chance shot and drill it.
Landers almost lost the basketball, though we'll call out a foul on Suter, stops it at 16:36. Last game, Suter had a excellent game, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 steals.
It feels like we've been waiting for Pete to have that type of big game. We know he's capable of it. He did it all of last season, but we're waiting on it for this year, and he certainly provided it last game against Greensboro.
It's Mikey Johnson with the basketball, 2-on-1, kicks in the corner for Landers. Landers one-on-one with Skowjak, missed everything, and Elmer gets the easy board.
It seems like the ball slipped out of his hands as he was initially starting up for his jump shot. Had a lot of trouble.
Elmer, a lot of contact. Will get to shoot some free throws as he was driving inside. Foul on Landers, and that'll be 2 more free throws for the red and white.
A little surprised, Andrew, almost 4 minutes into this game, we're nearing our first media timeout. We have not seen a 3-point attempt from Miami so far. A team that shoots them often, a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, the RedHawks coming into tonight, they make about 12 three-pointers a game, which is 14th in the nation. And Elmer makes the first free throw. Yeah, definitely shocking, but sure Coach Steele is happy about the old-fashioned opening. 4th free throw coming up here for the RedHawks, and Elmer makes it. Miami 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and the RedHawks lead 8-5 here in the first, nearing our first media timeout. Now see Toby Billups checking in, working around. Billups on the right side, hounded by Perry. Trying to give it back over Landers, gives right side to Mikey Johnson. Shot clock at 10. Johnson in the corner, stolen away by Elmer, falling down, but Landers grabs the loose ball, and Landers sinks the near elbow jumper Elmer a little slow to get up, and it's 8-7 RedHawks.
And it kind of just a tough break there for Ian Elmer. He's able to get the cross-court pass, but was just off balance a little bit. It was going to be a travel, so they had to try to throw it off of IU East to keep the ball in bounds. Just didn't work out.
In the corner, Elmer driving inside, lefty layup over the top, it's in, and Miami leads 10-7 here in the first.
A strong effort usually gets rewarded, especially on the defensive end. Good put in for Elmer.
Kick up top, here is Landers, lefty layup off the window and in. Back and forth we go, 10-9, 15-11 left to go in the first. Check that, I was about to say still haven't seen a three-pointer, but IU East got one a little bit earlier. Skowjak over to Elmer. RedHawks searching for their first three-pointer. Back over Skowjak, left wing three. He drills it, and Miami leads 13-9.
Yeah, it's a wide open three there from Skowjak. Can't leave him that open.
And here is Landers, misses the left wing three. Suter gets the rebound. Here comes the racing RedHawks inside the paint. Euro step, puts up a shot. He was fouled by Robinson, and that'll stop the clock at 14:38. Suter, he'll be shooting two in a moment. Well, Bryan, so far a good start for the RedHawks, shooting 4 for 7 from the floor and 4 for 4 from the free throw line, but trying to keep it up as we head into a break.
Yeah, just trying to pound it inside. I feel like we've seen that the past few games for Miami. Kind of struggle, or maybe not struggle's not the right way to put it, but they're a little hesitant to take as many threes early on in the game as they will later. Try to go inside to Woolfolk, and it's been effective. Seen a very similar start so far. So far, so good.
Take a break, 14:38. RedHawks lead 13-9 over IU East. Stay with us. You're listening to Red Hawk Radio. Welcome back inside Millett Hall. Andrew Relvas alongside Bryan Miller. Ian Elmer is coming out, getting some attention from the coaching staff. But in the meantime, Peter Suter will be shooting some free throws. Trey Perry in Elmer's place. And Suter misses the first free throw. On the season, a 79% free throw shooter. Averaging 14, 3, and 3.
And as a team, Andrew, Miami 81% from the line coming into tonight. Done a great job this year of both getting to the line and sinking their free throws when they do.
Suter splits the trip, and it's Miami 14, IU East 9. Red Wolves moving from right to left. Here's a little lob, and it's taken back by Robbins. RedHawks have numbers. Robbins over Perry inside for Robbins. Lefty layup, he missed it. Second chance opportunity off the glass and in, and the RedHawks lead 69 in the first.
Great job there for Tyler Robbins getting the steal on the defensive end, and even though he missed the first layup, gets a rebound and is able to get his first points of the game. Real stat stuffer type of possession.
Another deflection there from Robbins. Cole Henry over the top, blocked by Robbins, rebounded by Waltz. Another block for the RedHawks. Leading by 7. Skowjak over to Waltz, right wing three.
Oh,
he
nice
got
pass.
it. And Miami leads 19-9 here in the first.
Man, that was just an excellent cross-court pass from Luke Skaljak. Looks like that was a no-look right to Kyle Waltz, and in stride, he drills the three.
Free throw jumper there from Billups. Misses off the right side. Skaljak cleans it up for the board. Dishes over Atlason driving inside. He was fouled on Robinson, and that'll be more free throws for the RedHawks.
And again, a nice pass from Skaljak to kind of get that going right into the hands of Atlason. He's able to drive it inside, get himself to the line. Skaljak, a really good distributor of the basketball. Certainly has showed it here tonight.
2 fouls on Dwayne Robinson, who's usually the sixth man off the bench, and Atlason makes the first free throw. Atlason averaging 12, 3, and 2 off the bench, and he makes it both. And Atlason is perfect on the season for free throws. Don't want to jinx it when he's at the line, but he's made all of them to this point.
And out to 17 for 17 on the year.
Ashton Johnson checking in. Here is Billups kicking in the corner. Henry for three on the far side. Nope. And Skaljak snares the board. Skaljak spinning around, looking for Perry on the right side, but too hot to handle, out of bounds off of Miami.
Yeah, right as I start talking about the way Skaljak's been passing the ball, first turnover for him today, that went just beyond the reach of Perry. Just a little too wide for him.
This is an interesting matchup to watch. Toby Billups, 5'10", right next to the 6'8" Almar Atlason. See if that stays for long. Ashton Johnson against Trey Perry, and a whistle on the floor against Perry as Ashton Johnson was driving inside.
Saw a little bit of a press there from Miami on that last possession, Andrew. It's typically not something that Travis Steele deploys often, but a little bit of a soft press there early on in this game. See if that continues.
Billups on the baseline, floats up top to Dwayne Robinson, back over Billups. Billups over to Robinson, left wing three, over the top of Perry, missed it again, and Skaljak gets another defensive board. Knifing his way inside, Atlason kick in the corner, Perry for three, missed off the left rim.
Still a good look, still a good possession. That's what you want to do in transition.
Billups over to Landers, back up top, Ashton Johnson. Johnson 2-on-1, kick in the corner, Robinson another three-pointer, near corner Trey, he got it, and it's 21-12.
Robinson a 30% three-point shooter coming into tonight's game. Can't leave him that open in the corner.
Second three-pointer of the night for the Red Wolves. RedHawks lead by 9, Skaljak spinning inside, lost the basketball, and here comes Landers. Jeremiah Landers, 1-on-2, lefty layup, he smoked it. Waltz gets the board. Took it himself, and here's the transition. Skaljak three, nope, but Robbins gets the rebound. Atlason over to Robbins, and he floated this one out of bounds, and that'll lead us to immediate timeout. 11:55 left to go, and Miami leads 21-11 over IU East. Take a quick break inside Millett Hall. Stay with us on Red Hawk Radio. 11:55 left to go in the first half, and Miami leads 21-11 over IU East. The Miami football team in attendance, throwing out some T-shirts, getting ready for that big football game coming up on Saturday in the MAC Championship. We'll be on site for that one.
Looking forward to that one a lot, Andrew. Hopefully it's a better result than last year.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll see if the RedHawks can win 2 MAC championships in 3 years. IU East basketball and a travel and transition on Jeremiah Landers.
Yeah, it looks like Landers just slipped as soon as he got the ball. Seemed a little confused at the call from the referee, but seemed pretty obvious to us.
Ipsaro slithering inside, righty layup off the window and in, and it's 23-11 RedHawks.
Great drive there from Ipsaro's first points of tonight's ball game. Just so good driving the ball inside.
Ashton Johnson, top of the key, trying to get away from a few RedHawks. Over to Robinson, back to Landers on the right wing. Sizing up his man, kicking over, back to Cole Henry. Lost his dribble, picks it up inside the free throw line over the top of Woolfolk. He missed the jumper, and Antoine gets the board.
Yeah, that's just a really tough shot for Henry, trying to go over the tall Woolfolk. Good defense there for the RedHawks.
Turnaround jumper, Ipsaro nails it, and Miami leads by 14.
Ipsaro starting to heat up. The turnaround J there, mid-range, it's good.
Almost a foul the other way. Here's Cole Henry kicking in the corner. Bouncer for Ashton Johnson, far corner 3. Another board, 15th rebound of the half for the RedHawks by Ipsaro. Working it around the key, kick in the corner. Waltz for 3 on the far side, no. Checked out the near side. Woolfolk gets the board on the far side. Back over Elmer, falling down, put up a shot, almost made it. Wasn't even looking, and the RedHawks will get more free throws.
That would have been probably the craziest circus shot we've seen this season if that went in from Elmer. He was shooting at his face, looking at the crowd, the complete opposite end from the basket, just threw it up and somehow almost went in. But you'll still take the result if you're Elmer and the RedHawks, though, once again able to get to the free throw line.
And Elmer misses the first free throw. On the year, Elmer 7 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 block. Scoring numbers aren't up from last year, but the rebounding numbers are. But a much bigger role on the defensive side of the ball. Splits the pair, and it's 26-11 RedHawks, 10:19 left to go in the first. And now we see Pete Suter checking in, along with Kyle Tolbert for IU East. Also see Owen Cannon for the Red Wolves.
It looks like Miami putting on a press once again. See how strict they are with it.
Mikey Johnson floating on the left side for Tolbert. Tolbert looking for Cannon, tipped out of bounds off of Ipsaro on the near sideline.
The press almost got a 10-second violation on IU East. Seemed very slow getting the basketball up the court. Able to get across just in the nick of time.
Deshaun Shows over to Owen Cannon. Cannon kicking up top. Kyle Tolbert downhill. Back to Cannon on the right wing, driving inside. Here is the left side for Caleb Maurer, rising over the top, near elbow jumper, no. And the rebound picked up by Antoine Woolfolk. Suter thought about passing back. Eventually kicks back to Evan Ipsaro. Ipsaro slithering inside, righty layup over the top and in. And Miami leads 28-11 here in the first.
Yeah, just a great drive there from Ipsaro, driving in with his left hand, able to go up.
And another steal for Woolfolk, as that one was tipped out of bounds off of Deshaun Shows. And with that steal, Antoine Woolfolk has now had a steal in every single game.
Yeah,
read that one like a book.
His defensive effort this season, Andrew, has really just been spectacular. Talking about Antoine Woolfolk. He's been able to jump so many passes and start so many transition buckets for Miami this season.
In the corner, Byers for 3. Missed off of the front rim, and the rebound goes back to Deshaun Shows. Shows over to Anderson, or excuse me, Shows over to Johnson. Back over Tolbert. right-sided three, hit back heel, and a high rebound cleaned up by Brant Byers. Ipsaro back to Byers, transition Trey. This one short, but Suter able to clean up the dirty work and catch the dirty change. Suter backing down his man, fading away, missed it off the left rim, and another offensive board for the RedHawks. In the corner, Byers thundering inside, put up a shot, foul. Looks like it was off of Shows. Stops it at 8:42.
It's just been a dominant effort for the RedHawks on the glass today, Andrew. They're out rebounding the Red Wolves 20-4. As you mentioned earlier, rebounding has been a bit of a weakness at times for Miami this season, but it certainly has not been tonight.
First free throw is good for Brant Byers. Yeah, so far in the season, the RedHawks have won the rebounding battle in 4 out of 6 games. The 2 that they lost, one was the Mercyhurst game where just nothing was going right on the offensive board. And the other one, I believe it was the UNC Greensboro game. That one missed off. So Brant Byers goes 1 for 1, but just the lack of effort. The effort's here tonight. And Suter forces a steal, one-on-one. Suter lost the basketball, cleans it up, lefty layup, it's good. The RedHawks lead by 20 in the first.
Suter turning defense into offense, been so good at that throughout his career. Had 4 steals last game against UNC Greensboro, gets one there for the easy bucket.
Already 4 steals for the RedHawks in transition. A layup is good for the Red Wolves from Kyle Tolbert, and it's 31-13. 8 minutes left to go in the first. Approaching immediate timeout. Suter looking for the screen, bounce pass inside to a wide open Brant Byers, who nails the layup, and the RedHawks extend the lead to 20.
Yeah, Brant Byers on the 5'9" Owen Cannon. That's just a mismatch you have to take advantage of if you're Miami.
Caleb Maurer in the corner. Kyle Tolbert one-on-one against Evan Ipsaro, spinning inside, kicking in the corner. Cannon against Brant Byers, a mismatch right there. Back up top. Caleb Maurer searching for space over Atlason, and he missed everything. Shot that one all the way to Richmond, and that'll lead us to a media timeout. That'll be RedHawks basketball when we return. Miami leads 33-13, 7:28 left to go in the first. Stay with us on Red Hawk Radio. Under 8 left to play inside Millett Hall as the RedHawks lead 33-13. 20-point lead for the red and white. Bryan, so far Miami out-rebounding IU East 21-5, and it's felt like the effort's been here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a bunch of mismatches for Miami, it seems like, especially down low. As you mentioned, 21-5 rebounding advantage for Miami, and they've taken advantage scoring inside the paint as well. They've outscored IU East 18-4 in the paint. It's really been an inside-out type of performance for the RedHawks today, but it's been very, very effective.
Miami basketball moving from left to right. Trey Perry against Owen Cannon, back over Peter Suter on the right wing. Suter orchestrating the offense, gets a screen from Robbins on the far side, back over Trey Perry. Looking for a screen, he'll keep it himself. Kick in the left side, Almar Atlason rises for three, missed it, but Peter Suter grabs the rebound on the near corner. Trey Perry lost a man, lefty layup, gets it to go, and Miami leads 35-13. Shook him out of his shoes there, Trey Perry.
Trey Perry just absolutely crossed up Owen Kane and took his ankles with him. What a play from the freshman.
Mikey Johnson missed the three-pointer, and Peter Suter gets the rebound. Right wing three for Suter. He sinks it, and Miami leads 38-13 here in the first.
Just the third three for Miami in this half, Andrew, but still 38 points for the RedHawks. It hasn't been a great shooting performance for Miami today, but still have been really effective offensively.
25-point lead for Miami. Downhill, Owen Cannon. Acrobatic shot, a reverse layup off the window and in, and it's 38-15.
Maybe the best shot we have seen all night. How about the acrobatics from the freshman Cannon?
Suter on the far side up top, Almar Atlason on the right wing now. Trey Perry floats over the top. Tyler Robbins 2-on-1, kicks over to the wing. Trey Perry missed it off of the right heel, and the rebound is skied by Mikey Johnson.
And shout to the 6' even Caleb Marrer boxing out the 6'10" Robbins. I feel like we've seen those types of matchups all game long so far.
Yeah, for this IU East team, they have 5 players who are 6'8" or above, and about half of those players don't get significant minutes. Meanwhile, for Miami, they have 7 players 6'8" or taller, many of them 6'10". So the size is there for the RedHawks, and we'll see if they can continue to take advantage. Here is Jameer Ajibade. Ajibade tied up, had to give over to Marer, and back over Mikey Johnson on the baseline, threw it away in the arms of Trey Perry, and Trey Perry races down the other side. Luke Skowjak thought about a three and goes up top to Almar Atlason. Atlason down the lane, pinballing. This will be a charge on him, and that'll give possession back to the Red Wolves.
Man, Atlason didn't seem very happy about that charge called on him. Seems like he lost control for just a second as he initially got the ball. But tough turnover for the RedHawks there.
And almost another turnover there on IU East. 6 turnovers so far as Johnson almost lost it out of bounds, gets it back. Johnson against Trey Perry. That's been a favorable matchup for the RedHawks, but they call a foul there. 5:11 left to go in the first. Second foul on Trey Perry. Johnson 2 turnovers, and both of them taken away by Trey Perry.
Perry's been very effective on the defensive end of the floor tonight. Seems like we could say that about any of the RedHawks that have played so far. 5 steals from 5 different players.
Toby Billups on the baseline, gives up top Robinson, and back over in the corner. Far corner three, it's good for Kobe Watson, and it is 38-18 here in the first. Second three-pointer of the night for the IU East Red Wolves as the RedHawks are ahead by 20. Robbins over to Byers against Cole Henry, back over Trey Perry. Perry slithering inside, fell down to the floor, but a foul is called. It'll be on Jeremiah Landers. That'll be his second. So 3 Red Wolves and 2 fouls, and now the RedHawks are in the bonus. 7 personal fouls on IU East.
And they'll have 4 minutes and 45 seconds to continue getting to the free throw line. You'd think they should be able to get in the double bonus soon enough.
And Perry gets it to go. Yeah, hasn't really felt super physical tonight, but obviously can pick up in the second half. RedHawks are shooting 10 for 13 from the free throw line. make it 11 for 14 as Perry makes them both. 22-point lead. Here is Toby Billups, head full of steam, righty layup, swatted by Tyler Robbins. The rebound back to Watson, pinballing around. Who's going to grab it for the RedHawks? And it's Brant Byers.
Robbins just such a menace down low for Miami. He could block pretty much any shot, and if he doesn't get a hand on it, could still greatly affect it. We saw it twice there.
Atlason around the world, inside the free throw line. Righty layup off the window and in, and Miami leads by 34.
Nice spin move from Atlason right around the free throw line. Creates a nice, easy shot.
Right wing three, Landers missed it, and a foul will be called on the floor against Cole Henry as Henry tugged on the left arm of Almar Atlason. So now 8 personal fouls on IU East. And now we're under 4 minutes, so that'll take us to a media timeout. The RedHawks ahead 42-18, trying to keep up that momentum as we head into half. You're listening to Miami Men's Basketball on Red Hawk Radio. .359 left to go. Miami cruising against IU East 42-18. And now let's bring up Almar to the free throw line. Almar, the Bradley Braves transfer. A season high in points in his last game. And Atlason makes the first free throw. Last game, 18-5-1 for Almar in Florida against UNC Greensboro.
Certainly feels like he's really starting to hit his stride and really find his role on this team. Obviously, one of the newcomers on this Miami team could take a little bit of time to fully know what his role is going to be on this very experienced team, but it feels like he's really starting to find it.
Almar makes them both. It's 44-18. The RedHawks almost get another steal from the hands of Evan Apsaro. Jeremiah Landers down the lane, righty layup, drew some contact off the window and in, and it's 44-20 here in the first.
Man, we have seen some nice takes from this IU East team. They're still playing very, very hard, even though they're down 24.
Apsaro gets the screen from Woolfolk, kick in the corner, Waltz for three, missed off the right rim, and this will be a loose ball foul over the top of Antoine Woolfolk.
I think you're fine with that if you're Travis Steele, one of those high effort type of fouls, not necessarily dumb fouls, but you'll always take those.
Fifth foul on the RedHawks, about 3.5 minutes left to go. Jeremiah Landers dashing down the lane, put up a shot, and he was fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Couple nice takes from Landers these past couple possessions for the Red Wolves. The leading scorer today at 6 points.
Shooting 3 for 7 from the floor. And he's actually a local kid. He went to Middletown High School.
Yeah, there's a couple middies on this team. Him and Shows.
And Landers makes the first free throw. Got the RedHawk Rowdies right behind us.
They're certainly making their presence felt on that last free throw. Show up to every game. You love to see that.
And Landers makes both free throws. So it's 44-22. RedHawks ahead by 22. 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. Skowjak lost the basketball as Billups dove on the floor. This will be a turnover on Skowjak out of bounds. And Billups dove right in front of Travis Steele. Coach Steele not happy about that possession.
Yes, Coach Steele not seem happy at the officials at all in that last whistle.
Looks like they're going to call out a foul on Skowjak, so that's what he's arguing. It should have just been a turnover. Foul on Skowjak, and that'll put Toby Billups to the free throw line.
Yeah, it was going to be an over and back, and Skowjak was kind of shielding out the defender, I should say, as the ball was going out of bounds, not let him steal the ball, but called a foul on Skowjak instead.
Billups makes the first free throw, the senior from Connorsville, Indiana. Second free throw coming for him, and he makes it. And IU East trails 44-24. Press coming. Here's a near corner three for Skowjak. He got it, and Miami leads 47-24.
Maybe the one weakness for Miami today has been three-point shooting. Now 4 for 12 from three-point land. Good shot there from Skowjak.
Kick in the corner. Henry for three, trying to answer no, and the rebound is picked up by Ian Elmer. Henry glued on Elmer. Goes over Luke Skowjak, driving inside. He'll take it all the way, lefty layup. It's good for him, and Miami leads 49-24 in the first.
Seen plenty of strong takes inside for RedHawks today. As I mentioned, just 4 threes, but you still have 49 points. Shows how dynamic this offense could be.
Henry missed back-to-back shots, but inside is Watson, swatted away by Woolfolk. Skowjak grabs the loose ball. And the RedHawks will slow it down a little bit. Antoine Woolfolk controlling the offense for now. Screening on Elmer, right wing three. Hit back heel too strong. The rebound goes back to Skowjak. Woolfolk will try a three. Hit back heel. Henry gets the defensive board. The RedHawks go 0 for 2 from 3 on that trip.
And still open shots.
And Billups missed the layup as Woolfolk tapped over the top of the backboard. Left wing three from Skowjak missed again. The RedHawks have missed 3 straight three-pointers.
Now 1 for their last 6.
Left wing three-pointer from Landers is offline, and the RedHawks get the defensive stop from Elmer.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like a very quick tempo this past minute and a half. Kind of like a open gym street ball kind of feel, live transition threes. So you can understand why Miami is slowing it down on this possession.
Shot clock at 10 here for Miami. Ian Elmer over to Antoine Woolfolk on the right side. Dribbling up top, gives over Evan Upsaro. Down the lane, righty layup, off the glass and in. And the RedHawks have scored 7 straight points. They lead 51-24 in the first.
Good patient possession there for Miami. Get Upsaro in a favorable situation where he could drive it downhill. That's where he's at his best.
And Elmer forces the turnover out of bounds off of Cole Henry, and that'll lead into a IU East timeout. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Looking at the shooting, Miami 4 for 15 from 3, so they're on pace for about 8. So not the greatest percentages, but still you're making three-pointers. But another big strength for Miami, 13 for 16 from the free throw line. They're on pace for their season average at 81. So overall shooting pretty well tonight so far.
Yeah, still over 50% from the field, and I mean, you only have 4 three-pointers, but you're still on pace to score more than 100 points. So it just shows how good your offense can be. Even if you're not shooting it well from deep, you can still get the ball in the basket. I think that's a really, really good trait to have, especially as we get closer and closer to MAC play.
RedHawks got about 5 games or so before we get to MAC play. First game, it'll be against Ball State. But we've got, I believe, 3 straight road games. And then we face off against Maine on Sunday. So 4 more non-con games before the RedHawks take on Ball State. And then after that, got a game against Milligan. And then the full MAC calendar kicks off.
Seems like an earlier start for
Yeah, it
MAC
does.
play. I don't remember seeing that last year. We got the early one against Ball State and then one last non-con game against Milligan. Seems like an interesting scheduling quirk.
Milligan will be the last non-D1 game. RedHawks trying to take advantage. Kyle Waltz inside looking for Skowjak, kicks up top. Ipsaro downhill inside the paint. Waltz lost the basketball, and the Red Wolves are running the other way. Toby Billups trying to pass in the corner. No one was there. And it'll be Miami basketball with under 30 seconds left to go.
Man, this Miami defense has done a really, really good job today, Andrew, of speeding up the IU East offense and forcing errant passes. Just seemed like there was nobody there in the corner, just an errant pass for Toby Billups right into the lap of President Crawford.
Miami basketball, 20 seconds left to go. Shot clock is dark for Evan Ipsaro. On the red, Big M. Defended well by Landers, now draws a double team. Ipsaro goes around both of them, down the lane, lefty layup, off the window and in, counted and one. And Evan Ipsaro will go to the line to try and convert the three-point play.
Just so quick off the dribble, man. Can get past pretty much any defender that is trying to guard him and can get to the basket so quickly. Always a threat offensively.
53-24 Miami. Chance to make it a 30-point lead. And Ipsaro misses it. So the lead is 29. 3 seconds left. Left wing three is off. Last second chance was no good from Cole Henry. And after 20 minutes, Miami leads 53-24 over IU East. Overall, the defensive pressure was there for the RedHawks. And in terms of rebounding, the RedHawks out-rebounding IU East 30-14. So the effort's been there on the boards, and it's rewarded them well with 53 points here in the first half.
Yeah, just a strong rebounding effort for Miami. A really strong response after the game last week against UNC Greensboro, and they've been able to translate it on the offensive end as well. 28 points in the paint for Miami today compared to just 8 for IU East. Whether it's getting it down low to Antoine Woolfolk down at the block or driving it inside with Evan Ipsaro or Pete Suter, Miami has really, really excelled around the basket today.
Leading scorer for Miami, it's 10 points from Evan Ipsaro, but multiple RedHawks are right on the cusp of getting into double figures, and we'll see if they can do so after our halftime break. Well, stay with us. We've got the RedHawk Radio halftime report coming up with Gavin Stark. He'll break down this game and a lot more going on in a packed national schedule. But in the meantime, we'll take a quick break. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on RedHawk Radio. Andrew Relvas alongside Bryan Miller. Stay with us.
It's the midway point here in Oxford, Ohio. Miami leads 53-24 over the Indiana University East Red Wolves. Gavin Stark, and I'll be giving you the halftime report here in Millett Hall. RedHawks started off a little bit shaky within those first 4 minutes, where it just felt like nothing was really clicking, and IU East was given a tough battles at each end of the court, defensively and offensively sticking in it. During that first media timeout, it took about 4 minutes. And then after that first media timeout, at the 16-minute mark, the RedHawks came back out, and it's been all RedHawks since then. Kind of what we expected to see here. RedHawks just over the 50-point mark, on pace for over 100 points. Just what you like to see if you're Travis Steele and the coaching staff, because the offense was firing, and it wasn't really from the three-point arc. You know, a lot of times they're three-point heavy. They didn't shoot a three-pointer for the first 4 minutes of this basketball game, and that's kind of unheard of for this team. But they're 4 for 15 from the three-point line, 26%. So really the numbers aren't all that right now from beyond the arc, but they have attacked the paint. They're 18 for 34 from the field at 52.9% from the field, as IU East just 2 for 12 from the three-point line and 9 for 35 from the field at 25%. So not shooting the ball all too well. Size kind of overtaking this IU East team. And that sounds weird to say because usually Miami doesn't have a size advantage too often, but tonight that's the case. And if you want to talk about size, you talk about Tyler Robbins, who I talked about in the pregame show, who could have a big night tonight, and he hasn't really had a big night statistically, but if you're watching this basketball game, you can see his presence right when he came in to the basketball game. And, you know, it was a block, a deflection, you know, it was just all over the place with his length, as well as adding a basket with his 2 points. 1 for 2 from the field, 2 rebounds, a steal, and 2 blocks. That's where you really felt his presence, was with those 2 blocks and the 1 steal. His size definitely a threat as we head into the second half. Expect to see more guys come off the bench and play, but so far, Travis Steele's played 10. Indiana East, on the other hand, they've played 12 guys. They're just trying to find different types of things that are going to work for this Red Wolves teams, but they haven't really figured it out quite yet. Basket's not really falling. It feels like there's a lid on the rim for this IU East team, and just kind of overwhelmed as well by this Red Hawk team. But we'll go through statistically between each player for Miami here first. Ian Elmer, 5 points, 1 for 2 from the field, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals on 13 minutes played. He's played the most minutes out of all these Red Hawks. And then it's Antoine Woolfolk with 2 points. Those both coming from the free throw line, where he's 2 for 2. 5 rebounds, though, a steal and a block on 11 minutes played. Woolfolk really being a big force within the paint. You know, that's something we talked about as well in the pregame show, is, you know, he's going to have a size advantage, so can he, you know, exploit that and really show it with his rebounds? And he's doing exactly that with 5 rebounds. Evan Epsaro, the point guard, as the only one in double figures so far for this Red Hawk team. He's got 10 points, 5 for 7 from the field. Didn't knock down his 1 3-pointer that he attempted. He's 0 for 1 from behind the arc, and missed his free throw as well after that and one. About a minute left in the first half, he hit an and one and missed the one to convert the 3-point play. But he's got 2 rebounds as well. Doesn't have an assist, oddly enough, for a guy like Evan Epsaro, averaging almost 5 assists a game, but he has played 12 minutes. Grant Byers, 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds on 11 minutes play. And then Pete Suter, 8 points, 3 for 5 from the field, 1 for 1 from the 3-point line, 1 for 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal on 10 minutes. This is ridiculous. I mean, 8, 5, 3, 1 on 10 minutes. On ridiculous numbers. And then Trey Perry, the freshman, who's brought on some more sparks. 4 points, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 1 steal. does have 2 personal fouls, so that's on 8 minutes of play. And then Almar Atlison, the Iceland man, the transfer from Bradley, 6 points, 1 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from the three-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 1 rebound, 1 personal foul on 9 minutes played. And Tyler Robbins, we talked about beginning of the halftime show, 2 rebounds, 2 points, 2 blocks, a steal on 6 minutes. Kyle Waltz has been a good presence as he's knocked down a corner 3 and attempted 3 of them. So he's 1 for 3 on those with 3 points and 3 rebounds as well and an assist. He's been a good presence off the bench so far, a real good shooter in Kyle Waltz. You're going to see a lot more of him in the second half. And then Luke Skowjic to round out all of the players who played. 8 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 2 for 3 from the three-point line, 5 rebounds, and an assist. Does have 3 turnovers, though, on 12 minutes played. So Luke Skowjic being efficient as always. This whole team really being efficient as they've shot 52% from the field. I mean, they're getting it done all around on the offensive end, and defensively only allowing 24 points right now. IU East on pace to not even score 50 if all things stay the same. So an impressive first half for this RedHawk team as they're up 53-24. And we'll check out what's going on in the college basketball world right now after we talk about this IU East statistics real quick. Talked about this team on IU East, 25% from the field, 16% from the three-point line. Did knock down all 4 of the free throws, though, and 14 rebounds compared to Miami's 30. That's the big difference, is rebounding. Miami showing what they can do when they lead in the defensive rebounding and offensive rebounding statistic, because they are dominating this basketball game and really suffocating this IU East team. But Jeremiah Landers with 8 points leading the way for the Red Wolves, 3 for 8 from the field, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, an assist and a steal, but does have 2 personal fouls. He's played 13 minutes. And we'll move on to Mikey Johnson, the next scorer for this Red Wolves team. 3 points, 1 for 3 from the three-point line, 1 for 1 from the three. 1 rebound and 2 turnovers on 12 minutes played. The next scorer for this team is Owen Cannon. Owen's 2 points, 1 for 1 from the field. Nothing else statistically other than his turnover on 4 minutes played. Toby Billups with 2 points, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 1 from the three-point line, but knocked down his 2 free throws when he got to the line. A rebound, a steal, a personal foul, and 2 turnovers on 11 minutes played. Dwayne Robinson, 2 points, 1 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from the three-point line on 2 personal fouls, and played 9 minutes. Kyle Tolbert, 2 points, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 2 from the three-point line, 1 rebound, 1 assist on 8 minutes played. As the RedHawks enter the court once back for the second half, we got just under 4 minutes left until the second half is underway here. RedHawks looking to close out a victory, but we'll talk about Kobe Watson real quick because he's got 5 points, 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from the three-point line, and 4 rebounds. He's been their best player by far on his 9 minutes played. Kobe Watson has been a real threat so far in this basketball game. Like I said, though, IU East played 12 in that first half. Kind of impressive. They're just trying to find a way, though, see how they can stick around in this one. But it's going to be a tough task as they got a big mountain to climb here in the second half. Miami still pedal to the metal. But we'll go around it and what's going on in the college basketball world. Penn State only leads by 11 with 45 seconds left in the second half over Campbell University. So they're going to close that one out, but not by much over a mid-major school in Campbell. How about this, though? At halftime, Syracuse leads Tennessee, number 13 in the country, 32-30. Syracuse has had probably the toughest schedule in the country, and they're 4-3. And it's almost an impressive record with the schedule they've played. They were super, super impressive over the tournament last week, where they've just played so many good teams and just competed. But it's showing right now as they're up 32-30 on Tennessee at the midway point. Texas A&M leads Pitt at half 35-33, a close one that's probably going to go down to the finish. Oklahoma leads Wake Forest at the half by 2, 37-35. That's going to be a good test as well on ACC Network. On the SEC Network, though, it's Virginia Tech leading South Carolina 39-34 as they get underway in the second half. Dayton leads 46-38 at the half over ETSU. And then Michigan State, who's been elite all year, they've climbed all the way to number 7 in the country, is dominating a good Iowa team 35-21 at the half. Florida and Duke are underway with about 8 minutes left in the first, and they lead, or excuse me, they're tied 19-19. Florida and Duke are tied. It's going to be a good one as well. And Purdue and Rutgers has just gone underway. So that does it for what's going on around the college basketball world. A minute left until the second half underway. Miami leads 53-24. This has been the halftime show. I'm Gavin Stark saying so long for now, but I'll be back with you at the postgame show as we hope to talk about how the RedHawks are 7-0 after a dominant victory. Will they do it? Stick around and find out here in the second half as Andrew Relvas and Bryan Miller will lead you all the way to the finish line. Stick around, don't go anywhere. You were listening to the Miami basketball on the Red Hawk Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Millett Hall as the halftime break is just about to finish. Thanks again for tuning in and spending your Tuesday evening with us. Andrew Relvas alongside Bryan Miller. So far, the RedHawks looking good, leading 53-24, but trying to keep it up into the second half.
Yeah, very effective first half for Miami. We keep alluding to it again and again, but you have a really, really good team and especially a really good offense if you can have a cold shooting night from three-point land and still put up more than 50 points in a half. And that's exactly what Miami did. Just 4 for 15 from the three-point line, but still getting 53 points, 28 of which coming from inside the paint, 8 second chance points, 7 points in transition, 23 points from the bench. It's been a very thorough and effective effort for Miami so far. Just maybe we'd like to see a few more threes, but with the way this team shoots, that shouldn't be much of an issue.
They make about 12 a game, and they're at 4 right now. Back inside Millett Hall for the second half as the Red Wolves will move it from left to right, trailing by 29 as this one was tipped out of bounds off of, it looked like Ipsaro as the pass was looking for Cole Henry.
And I wouldn't be surprised, Andrew, if we see a few different defensive looks for the RedHawks in the second half, try to test some things out.
And the RedHawks get a steal. Antoine Woolfolk on the run, feeds over. Elmer, lefty layup in transition is good, and the RedHawks lead 55-24 in the second.
Another steal for Antoine, his second of the day. Just really, really good.
Almost got another there. Suter gets it. 2-on-1 for the Racing RedHawks. Suter the lob, missed it, blocked, and Woolfolk grabs the errant pass. Ian Elmer around the horn over Woolfolk in the corner. Suter, left wing three. Brant Byers, yes sir. And the RedHawks lead 58-24 in the second.
Exactly what you want to see there if you're Miami. Really good ball movement across the three-point line. Gets to a strong three-point shooter in Brant Byers, 39% from three-point land. Great possession for Miami.
Shows down low Cole Henry over the top of Woolfolk. And it's 58-26.
Good take there for IU East. Good take for the 6'8" Cole Henry.
Evan Ipsaro, lob over to Antoine Woolfolk. Bounce pass right wing for Peter Suter. In the paint on the far elbow. Here's Ian Elmer against Cole Henry. Kick in the corner. Woolfolk for three. He got it. Antoine Woolfolk, the big man, splashes down a big three-pointer. And the RedHawks lead by 35, 61-26 in the second.
Antoine's second made three of the season. He is now 2 for 7 on the year. He's capable of making those shots.
Lob inside in the corner. Maurer, step back three-pointer, sidestep three-pointer rather. Second chance point for Landers, no, and the rebound goes back to the RedHawks.
Another good defensive possession there for Miami, able to get the rebounds.
Kick on the right side, Byers for three. That's 3 straight three-pointers for Miami. They lead 64-26, 38-point lead.
Brant Byers starting to heat up. He's up to 11 points on the day and 6 straight.
And Henry gets a far corner three-pointer. So that's now 4 straight three-pointers. Each team trading deep shots. Ipsara over to Woolfolk, thought about the three-pointer. Hops over quickly, Pete Suter on the right wing, hounded by Maurer. One-on-one, Pete Suter against Caleb Maurer. Looking for room, kicks up top, left wing three, Elmer, hit back heel, and the rebound goes back to Jeremiah Landers.
After a couple of made threes, seems very easy to settle for one there if you're Miami. Would like to see a little bit of a better shot there.
Right wing three, Cole Henry missed everything on that one. Really nice defense from Woolfolk. In transition, Antoine Woolfolk gets a nice quarterback pass, and he'll go one-on-one against Deshaun Shows, where he lost the basketball. And Suter tips it out of bounds off of the fast break steal from IU East.
Tempo really starting to pick up last minute or so. Nice catch there for Antoine Woolfolk, the former tight end. He's a good college football recruit. Got a few Division I offers, but chose the hardwood instead of the gridiron. But his football skills can certainly be on display here, and you could definitely see on that possession. Would have liked to see the finish, though.
Yeah, really good reaction time in air. On the baseline, Deshaun Shows against Almar Atlason, lost his dribble, ball's loose, and Ian Elmer grabs the dirty change. Miami basketball on the left side, Almar Atlason on the near elbow. Dancing on the baseline, feeds over Pete Suter, left elbow jumper, offline, and the rebound goes back to Cole Henry.
Still a good job there from Suter finding open space for the shot.
Straightaway three-pointer off from Mikey Johnson. And Evan Upsarl snares the miss. Suter up top, looking for a screen from Atlason, gets it on the left side, kicks up top, Atlason, straightaway three-pointer, a deep one. Missed off of the front rim, and a frustration foul from Suter on the rebound from Caleb Maurer. RedHawks 7 for 20 from the three-point line, so
they've definitely improved this half, though. 3 for 5 to start off half number 2 from three-point land, so almost doubling up their production from the first half.
A lot of these are good looks, too. A lot of ball movement being had in these possessions. 15:52 left to go in the game. RedHawks up by 35. Jeremiah Landers, the leading scorer, floats inside. Deshaun Shows slams it home, and it's 64-31 in the second.
Yeah, really good pick and roll there from Deshaun Shows. Able to get wide open in the paint and able to flush it home.
Ipsaro, deep three-pointer, no, and the rebound goes back to Elmer. Kick in the corner, Perry back to Elmer on the right wing. RedHawks reset up top. Byers lost the basketball. On the floor, Elmer boxes out Caleb Maurer, and that'll stop at 5:14, and that'll take us to a media timeout. So the RedHawks much better start in the second half, 3 for 6 from deep, and they lead 64-31. And with that, we'll take a break inside Millett Hall. More basketball yet to come here in Oxford. Stay with us on Red Hawk Radio. 15-14 left to go, and the RedHawks leading by 33 over the IU East Red Wolves in their first ever matchup. Miami, 2 players in double figures, Ipsara with 10 and Brant Byers with 11. The RedHawks have made 7 3-pointers, and it'll be IU East basketball to start off the break.
I've heard Travis Steele talk about how he breaks the game into 4-minute wars in between each media timeout. So I know in a game where the results probably decided, it looks like Miami's going to win this one. Breaking it down like that in the second half is a good way to keep your team engaged in this game. So for that last segment, Miami won 11-7. So we'll see what happens in war number 2.
Cole Henry on the low block. Almar Atlason was there. Off the window and in, counted and one, and Cole Henry will go to the free throw line.
Really seems like IU East has done a solid job of getting the ball in the paint to start off the second half, at least a lot more effectively than they did in the first.
And Cole Henry, the freshman from Versailles, Indiana, makes the free throw and the three-point play.
Yeah, a couple of baskets for the Red Wolves in half number 2. Got 4 points, Miami just 2, which honestly seems kind of hard to believe the way the first half went.
30-point lead for the RedHawks. Perry over to Robbins inside the three-point line. Goes on the right side. Luke Skowjak counted against Jeremiah Landers over on the near elbow. Tyler Robbins backing down, shows. Robbins up and under. Fancy footwork for the big man. Off the window and in, and Miami leads 66-34 in the second.
Great footwork from Robbins there. That was old school. Love that.
So slow, meticulous possession, and Robbins worked it to perfection. That's what you want to see from the freshman. Bounce pass inside, shows over the top of Robbins. Robbins wins the battle. The rebound cleared by Skowjak. Feeds up court for Waltz. Waltz 1-on-2, lefty layup, no problem on the mismatch, and Miami leads by 34 in the second.
Good take there from the freshman. Waltz was able to maneuver around a couple of Red Wolves to get the basket inside the paint.
In a trap, Johnson lost the basketball, RedHawks, and bodies are flying everywhere, but Atlason picks up the dirty change. Inside, counted and one for Almar Atlason, falling down. Foul on Jeremiah Landers, and the Icelander will go to the line for the three-point play.
Yeah, just a real rugby scrum for the basketball on one end. RedHawks are able to come up with it, and a good take for Atlason, able to get the foul from Shows and able to get the bucket to go. A 6-0 run for Miami.
Yeah, and in this war, like you mentioned a few minutes ago, looks like they have taken a big advantage.
Yeah, and I wouldn't doubt that Travis Steele probably said that in the huddle. Got to respond in this next 4-minute war. They've certainly done that.
And here's Atlason at the free throw line. Someone yelled, "Baby Jokic," I agree. Makes the free throw.
Still perfect from the free throw line this season.
Don't want to be the guy who messes it up. Perry gets a steal, one-on-one. Trey Perry to the rim, counted and one. Trey Perry, head full of steam, gets the scoop and score. Miami leads 73-34 in the second. I mean, he's done that pretty much every home game, it's felt like. He's gotten the scoop and score, and more free throws coming up for the RedHawks.
Yeah, another good driver of the basketball. Trey Perry very, very effective at that. He's very effective on the defensive end as well. Able to get the steal and turn it into points.
And Perry missed the free throw, but Robbins was right there off of the loose miss, and he got the layup to go. So it's 75-34. 4-point play for the RedHawks. Mikey Johnson over to Toby Billups. 11-0 run for Miami. Right wing jumper was off from Billups, and Suter gets the rebound. 13 minutes left to go. Robbins will take a right wing three. Halfway home, rimmed out. Perry the rebound, and he gets it to go.
Great job there from Trey Perry. Very physical underneath, even though he's the point guard, can still dominate down low.
33-point lead for Miami. Inside, a righty layup is good, and it is 77-36.
Good cut from Toby Billups. Back door was open, took advantage of it to get the reverse lay.
Suter, right wing three, missed everything. The rebound goes back to Johnson.
Not the shot you want to settle for there if you're Suter.
Jeremiah Landers' hesitation three-pointer was fouled. Suter, hands up in the air, not entirely happy about that. Atlanta will stop it at 12:30. Third on Suter. And looks like Suter will stay in for now. I mean, you got a 41-point lead. Might as well keep him in.
It's good practice, trying to work through with 3 fouls. You'd think there's definitely going to be some point in the max season where Suter's going to have to stay in with 3 fouls on him. He's going to have to learn to play really disciplined defense. So why not practice it now?
Landers missed the first free throw. Another one for him, and he gets the second. Jeremiah Landers mentioned that he went to school at Middletown. He played football and basketball at Middletown, where he was the QB for the Middies last year. Not sure if he was the starting QB, but he was listed as a QB, and Landers goes 1 for 3 on the free throw trip.
Middies had a very good football season this past year. Just ended with the loss to St. X, but still a very good season.
Robbins inside, Waltz throws it down with 2 hands. Beautiful feed from the big man, and Miami leads 79-37 in the second.
Great pass from Robbins and a great finish from Waltz.
Free throw jumper, missed everything from Watson, and Skowjak gets another board. Skowjak has been all over it defensively. Skowjak will take it inside, kick up top, straightaway three-pointer, Robbins, and he missed it. Another really good look, but just a little short.
And he can make those shots. He has a few threes this season, even though he's the big man.
Right wing three-pointer, Robinson off the window and in. The bank is open on Tuesday, and it's 79-40.
Tuesday night, too. Robinson kind of had a look on his face like, yeah, I totally meant to do that.
Sometimes it works. And Suter was looking on the corner for Waltz, but it was tipped out of bounds off of, looked like Toby Billups, and that'll take us to immediate timeout. 11:28 left to go. Miami ahead by nearly 40. 79-40 our score. We'll take a break inside Millett Hall. Miami basketball on the inbound. It's Evan Apsaro on the baseline. Kicks up to Elmer. Back on the right wing three. Evan Apsaro. He missed it, and the rebound will go back to the Red Wolves. Ashton Johnson floats over the top, nearly intercepted. Kicked in the corner. Robinson for three. He drills it. Back-to-back three-pointers for him, and it's 43-79.
That one much more aesthetically pleasing than his last one, but Robinson starting to heat up behind the arc. 6 straight points for him.
Woolfolk driving inside on the right elbow. Will take a free throw jumper. He gets the friendly roll, and Miami's in the 80s. It's 81-43 in the second.
Like the shot there from Antoine. Little fadeaway right at the MAC logo. Up to 7 points.
Three-pointer as well. Here is Kyle Tolbert. They go up top. Dwayne Robinson back to Tolbert. Right wing three, no. But Ashton Johnson gets the miss. On the other side, Billups for three on the far corner, and Ian Elmer snares the rebound. Elmer over to Suter near the giant big red M of Miami. Near half court. We'll go over to Antoine Woolfolk. On the right side, here's Suter. 2-on-1, kick in the corner, tipped out of bounds though. That looked like it was off of Dwayne Robinson. Last game for Robinson, 5 3-pointers. It was a career high for 3-pointers for him, but hasn't gotten as many 3-pointers tonight. Suter, shot clock winding down, and this will be a foul on Kobe Watson. Stops it at 10 minutes exactly.
Third foul for IU East. Each squad with 3 fouls as we're halfway done with half number 2.
On the right wing, Suter gives up top. Evan Apsaro sprinting downhill, put on the brakes, kicks in the right side for Suter. And the rebound goes back to Antoine Woolfolk. Spinning around, block on his way up, but this will be a foul on Kobe Watson. So Watson got the block, but they called a foul in midair.
He has a good defensive possession, did a good job with the spin move from Woolfolk. But just the late foul from Watson on the way up. You could definitely see frustration in his eyes as the whistle was blown.
And here is Woolfolk, who tonight is 2 for 2. And he's 2 for 3. Might have jinxed him there.
Tough break. It was in and out, too. Thought he was going to get the friendly roll, but betrayed him on that last shot.
Look for redemption here. And Woolfolk can't get them both. But luckily enough for the RedHawks, it was tipped out of bounds off of IU East. Last touched by Kyle Tolbert. So it'll be Miami basketball. Now we see Owen Cannon check back in. Cannon, the 5'9" freshman from Bradford, Ohio. On the baseline, Apsaro over to Woolfolk. Back to Apsaro in the far corner. Going around 2, Red Wolves will take a free throw jumper. He was fouled, and that'll be 2 more for the RedHawks at the charity stripe.
I mean, Apsaro, like every time he drives inside, seems like he has a step or 2 on the defender, and that time didn't take it to the rack, but settled for a mid-range jump shot. He's able to get back to the free throw line.
And Apsaro now gets the friendly roll, so avenges Woolfolk's last miss. So for the RedHawks, 15 for 22 from the free throw line tonight. And here's another free throw from Apsaro. Got it. And the RedHawks lead by 40, 83-43, 9:30 left to go in the game. And Apsaro almost forced another steal. Johnson picks it up. Left wing three-pointer, Robinson off of the shot clock, somehow stays in, and Evan Apsaro pirouettes to get the rebound. Apsaro from Suter. Apsaro taking himself all the way to the cup. Lefty layup off the window and in, and Miami leads by 42. And Woolfolk gets the steal.
Oh, here we go.
Here comes Woolfolk. Throw it down with the right hand. The one-headed jam from Antoine Woolfolk gives the RedHawks a 34-point lead.
Yeah, Antoine certainly bringing the thunder there on that slam on the rack attack.
Right wing three-pointer Tolbert halfway home. The rebound back inside. And a foul is going to be called in the paint. Kobe Watson was there. And now it looks like we're going to have a platoon swap for Miami any minute now. And this will bring Kyle Tolbert to the free throw line. Makes the first free throw, and now we got a platoon swap. It's Almar Atlison, Trey Perry, Tyler Robbins, Kyle Waltz, and Luke Skowjak checking in.
Depth has been a strength for this Miami team all season long. All 10 of the players, either 5 that got in or 5 that just got out, all get regular playing time, so it's nothing really out of the ordinary for Miami this season.
Tolbert makes both free throws, and it's 87-45. 8:30 left to go in the second. Atlison on the right side, Skowjak. Atlison left wing three-pointer in transition, bullseye. And Atlison up to 12 points. The RedHawks lead by 45. 90-45 in the second.
Atlison up to 12 points in tonight's game, his first 3.
And with that three-pointer, Atlison has made a 3 in every game. Streaks continuing for a lot of RedHawks players tonight. It's also the 3rd RedHawk in double figures. Tyler Robbins inside the free throw line, three-point line rather. Stolen away, off to the races. Here is Kyle Tolbert, and he gets the scoop and score to count.
Yes, not a great turnover there for Miami. Saw similar play with Woolfolk where he was able to slam it down. IU East will get the lay-in, but counts the same.
Atlison missed the three-pointer, and the Red Wolves were there. Dwayne Robinson grabs the miss. Ashton Johnson floats over. They go on the right side. Here's a right wing three-pointer that will float all the way over the top from Kobe Watson out of bounds. So good luck, but just did not find the bottom of the net. And with that, we will take a media timeout. 90-47, the RedHawks are cruising. And about 7:30 left to go. The RedHawks will get their 7th win on the year. In the meantime, we'll take a break inside Millett Hall. The RedHawks rolling. 7:26 left to go. Thanks again for joining us inside Millett Hall. The RedHawks are under 8 minutes left to go from getting their 7th straight win on the season and their 20th straight home win. So it is looking really good right now for the red and white.
I think you mentioned, Andrew, the game to beat the all-time record of 23. Either tie it or break it would be against Akron. Obviously, you don't want to look too far ahead, but that could be a really incredible scene here at Millett.
And Waltz, beautiful feed inside, gets the ready layup to fall, and it's 92-47. Yeah, that one likely going to be the MAC game of the year as we get a foul on the opposite side. January 3rd. Honestly wish it was kind of later so more students could come, but still, that'll be must-see TV in about a month.
Yeah, I would still expect a full house here at Millett. It'll be one of those doubleheaders as well. The women's team plays, I believe, Toledo to start off the double dip.
Here is Tolbert fading away, blocked by Skowjak. Skowjak will pass full court, and Waltz will throw it down with 2 hands. Beautiful feed. Skowjak, the QB pass, and Miami leads by 47 in the second.
Man, Travis Steele has talked about the vision that Luke Skowjak has, one of the reasons why they wanted to recruit him. That was certainly on display there. The cross-court pass to the freshman Waltz, and he slams it home.
Straightaway three-pointer, that's off from Tolbert. RedHawks racing the other way, and Perry curls back to pause for a moment. Perry, no-look pass, left wing three-pointer. Atlason offline by a little bit, but Robbins grabs the miss and gets the friendly roll for a pair. Nice play by the freshman.
Man, that's a couple times. Seems like Robbins just taps it into the basket on the putback attempt. Doesn't even like fully grab it, but with his strength and him being 6'10", it really, really works for him.
96-47, so the RedHawks inching closer to that 100-point mark. This will be the 3rd time they've gotten into the 100s this season. Trinity Christian, Arkansas Pine Bluff, and next this one. Right elbow jumper, that's off from Cannon, and Waltz grabs the miss. And
they're below 30% on three-point attempts. It's not often you see triple digits if you're not shooting it particularly great behind the arc, but it's what this Miami team has done tonight.
Skowjak in the corner, Waltz for 3. Little bit off there, and Tolbert snares the rebound. 3 on 2, and it's blocked by Atlason. They're going to call foul, though, as Atlason was a little bit too hard on Kobe Watson there. 6-0 run for the RedHawks, and the clock stops. 5:37 left to go in the second. And here's Kobe Watson at the free throw line. Misses the first one. If this was an NBA game, it now would be the scream for chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised we don't have anything like that if the opponent misses 2 free throws.
Here's the second one, and for Chick-fil-A, and he gets it. So he splits the pair. It's 96-48.
We did just get the Chick-fil-A on campus, so might be a potential sponsorship deal.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that during MAC play.
That would be really cool. You get more people in the stands, too. RedHawks working up by 48, trying to make it plus 50. Trey Perry, fancy
nice
footwork, Euro step inside, off the window and in. Counted and one. A beautiful play by the freshman from Lakota East. And Trey Perry will go to the line leading 98-48 in the second.
Perry into double digits, up to 10 points in tonight's ballgame, and many of them have come on drives like that. See his skill set still growing into his role as a college basketball player, but he's really, really excelling here tonight.
11 points for Trey Perry as he gets the three-point play to fall. Deep three-pointer on the left side from Caleb Mayer, and he sinks it in front of Kyle Waltz.
First points for Moore today. That was a deep one. Like to see the confidence from him.
99-51. What a feed inside, and Waltz hammers it down with two hands again. I mean, Trey Perry's vision is unreal right now.
Kyle Waltz has been on the receiving end of some incredible passes tonight, whether it was from Trey Perry or Luke Scaljak. Got to take them out to dinner or something. My goodness.
And in transition, Maurer makes the three-pointer. 101-54, Miami leading. Here's Kyle Waltz, and he gets the righty layup to go. Kyle Waltz gets his 13th point of the night, and Miami leads by 49 in the second.
Just a great take from the freshman Waltz, now 7 for 10 from the field.
Owen Cannon against Trey Perry, looking for a screen. They kick it around to Caleb Marer, and this one missed everything. But inside, Robbins swats away a IU East shot on the right elbow. This one missed from Kobe Watson, and the RedHawks will slow it down a little bit. Waltz bounced down low. Tyler Robbins inside, kick in the corner. Perry for three on the near side, no. And the rebound is won by Watson. Tapped out of bounds off of Robbins, and it'll be IU East basketball after the media timeout. Final media timeout of the night as the RedHawks are up by 49, but trying to make it over 50. We'll see if they can do so in just a little bit. You're listening to Miami men's basketball on Red Hawk Radio. Finishing touches coming up inside Millett Hall. Thanks again for tuning in and spending our Tuesday night with us. Back from our media timeout, Miami leading by 49, 103-54. And it'll be IU East basketball moving from left to right. 3.5 minutes left to go. IU East trying to leave Millett Hall with some positive momentum. Owen Cannon downhill. Nice feed inside to a wide open Jameer Ajibade, and it's 103-56.
Yeah, Ajibade finding the open part of the Miami defense. Easy cut and land.
Robbins' fancy footwork goes up and under over the top of Kobe Watson, and Miami leads 105-56.
It's been a very good game for the freshman Robbins, up to 10 points and 7 boards.
Watson, right wing three, he nails it, and it's 105-59. 8th three-pointer of the game for the Red Wolves. Robbins thought about the three-pointer. See if he gets another crack at the net from deep. Robbins one-on-one driving inside the paint, put up a shot, was fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, that's certainly a matchup that Robbins would want to take advantage of. Standing at 6 foot 10 inches, going up against the shorter Kobe Watson at 6'7", at least able to Get to the free throw line. I'm sorry. I I didn't realize it until I said it.
So Robbins misses the first free throw. Now we see Justin Patton coming in. I believe everybody's played for IU East tonight.
And it looks like Ethan Wright is into the game for Miami, him and the freshman Brady Ganley.
And Robbins misses them both. And the rebound will be cleaned up by Kobe Watson. Moving it around, top of the key. Caleb Marr goes over to Patton. Back up top, Marr, deep three-pointer for him. Missed it off the left rim. Wright the rebound, back over Perry. Here's Brady Ganley, kick up top, Ethan Wright. Sidestep three-pointer, missed it short. And that'll go back to Owen Cannon. 2 minutes left to go. The RedHawks up 105-59, and in transition, a far corner three-pointer for Ajibade cuts the RedHawk lead a little bit.
Love to see Ethan Wright look here in this last minute 45.
Perry goes all the way inside the rim, gets a lefty layup. 107-62, 55-point lead now. Or excuse me, a 45-point lead. Cannon missed the three-pointer on the right wing, and Wright gets another defensive board. See if Wright can get some points. Perry controlling the offense. Inside, Wright kicks in the corner. Waltz for three, all alone, no. And the rebound will be cleaned up by Ajibade.
Good ball movement there from Perry to Wright. It's an open look for Waltz in the corner, just not quite able to go.
Straightaway three-pointer, bullseye for the Red Wolves. Caleb Marr, and it's 107-65, 42-point lead now. Ethan Wright inside, and he was foul, or excuse me, they'll call us out of bounds. No foul. Call it out of bounds off of Caleb Marr.
Yeah, I really think the Miami bench would have loved for Wright to get that bucket there. I'll see if they get a look for him.
Robbins on the right elbow, goes close. Trey Perry under a minute left to go. Perry dancing around, goes over left wing. Kyle Waltz for three. And Brady Ganley able to clean up the loose change, and it's 109-65, RedHawks lead.
Ganley up to 9 points on this season. He is 3 for 3 from the field. Hasn't missed a shot yet.
Kobe Watson, right elbow jumper. Perry gets another stop. Shot clock is dark. We'll see if the RedHawks decide to run anything else. No need to. Up 109-65. 44 points. And looks like they will not go for any more offensive possessions. And with time winding down, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. And now it is officially over. The RedHawks defeat the IU East Red Wolves 109-65 for the third game this year. The RedHawks score over 100 points as they take care of the IU East Red Wolves in their first ever matchup, knocking them off by 44 points and a nice showing on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's a really good showing for Miami. I think they really did a good job of staying into the game in the second half. They won each of the 4-minute wars besides the last one. They lost 11-6. But in a game like this where the results pretty much decided by a halftime, to have the team really stay in the game and still stay engaged is a really, really positive sign. So really proud of the team for that. It's just a really dominant effort on the glass. Out-rebounded the Red Wolves 55-31. Got 68 points in the paint today for Miami compared to just 18 for IU East. And defensively, they really showed up and shut down this Red Wolf offense outside the last few minutes where they made a few threes in a row. Just a really dominant effort for Miami today and a strong response after the close call last week.
The game lasted an hour and 45 minutes, so relatively short here inside Millett Hall. And the RedHawks cruised to a 44-point victory. 6 RedHawks were in double figures with Kyle Waltz leading the scoring 15 points. Miami out-rebounded IU East 55-31, and they made 8 3-pointers, 8 for 33. That is 24%. And with that, Miami improves to 7-0, and for IU East, this won't count against their record, so they'll stay at 5-3. Miami 7-0. They've won 20 straight games inside Millett Hall, and their next matchup will be on Saturday, December 6th, against the Maine Black Bears at 1 o'clock. We'll likely have a Red Hawk Radio stream for that, but on our second channel, as the MAC Championship in Detroit is going on at the same time. But we'll let you know on our socials as we get to that point. The next game for the RedHawks against Maine.
It'll be a big day for Red Hawk fans on Saturday. Definitely one to remember, hopefully in a good way.
Yeah, we'll see if Miami can get 2 MAC championships in 3 years and avenge last year's disappointing game against the Ohio Bobcats. Well, that's in a few days, and with that, we'll turn it over to Gavin Stark for the Red Hawk Radio post-game show. Big win for the RedHawks. They knock off IU East by 44. From Bryan Miller, my name is Andrew Relvas, signing off and saying so long from Millett Hall. We hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Stay tuned for the Red Hawk Radio post-game show.
RedHawks take a huge victory, 109-65, and they go 7-0 now. An unbelievable start to the season where they've now had 3 games across the 100 mark this season. The offense has been explosive all season, and they are explosive again tonight as they handle business against the IU East Red Wolves. I'm Gavin Stark, and I'm taking you through the post-game show here tonight at Millett Hall after a sweet, sweet victory from the RedHawks, where 6 RedHawks crossed double digits in scoring tonight. An unbelievable effort by all different types of RedHawks. There was really 10 guys who played consistently all night. It varied between the 10, and it felt like it was a platoon squad, kind of like a red and white starting 5, and it was a very, very electric game offensively for the RedHawks. IU East kind of suffocated, it felt like, throughout the entire part of the second half, especially where they were able to only score 31 points, scored 24 in the first half as well. So defensively, Miami pretty good on the defensive end. Obviously some sloppy defensive possessions still that need to be worked on, but overall the rebounding statistic, 55, where they came in averaging well beneath that, and Indiana only with 31 rebounds. So they destroyed that margin where they haven't really done all year. They've dominated games, but they haven't dominated on the boards too often, and they do that tonight. So that's a big step forward as we head closer and closer to MAC play. This team is starting to rebound the ball better, play better defense, and also score like they have all year. And they scored 109 points tonight with 25% from the three-point line, where they averaged 42% coming into this one. They only shot at 24.2% and still came up with 109 points total. So an impressive victory from the RedHawks as they handle business here tonight against IU East. A big one on Saturday here at Millett Hall, as well as they'll host Maine. Cooper Flagg's brother, Ace Flagg, will come into Oxford looking to get a victory over the RedHawks. RedHawks looking to go 8-0 on Saturday, but myself, Bryan, and Andrew will be in Detroit for the MAC Championship as the football team takes on the Western Michigan Broncos. Tons of good basketball going on right now on this Super Tuesday night in America. So turn on some more basketball, watch some good basketball, finish out your night, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the night. For now, myself, Gavin Stark, saying so long here from Millett Hall. We'll see you again on Saturday. Thanks for listening to this special edition of Miami Men's Basketball on the Red Hawk Radio Network.